Tuile in French means a roof tile, and the idea of the roof tile is to be able to have one element that is repetitive, and we can build any form we want. So the idea started as being it's a technical defeat for that sort of material to get the clarity, to get the reflection, to get the beauty of the crystal and so on, and then to make something which is creating X number of products that we can see here, different diameters and different ways of presenting it, but also in a way what I call an eco-friendly system where architects or interior designers could take the one element and build with it in a way anything one wants. But the beauty of this project in my eyes is also how to bridge 300 or 250 years of history of baccarat and the history of our living environment and what is light and what is a lamp. So we understand a lampshade. When you say a lampshade, automatically what you see is a cone in these proportions more or less, right? So it is a sort of a common understanding of what a lampshade is, and I took this stereotype and put it in the context of baccarat and made it out of crystal, not by molding one piece of crystal, because it's possible, but it's something plastic will do better, but doing it with the pieces that are coming together one next to the other, it also facilitates the way of putting the light together, shipping it, the transport, the logistics, everything comes with it, and you literally can be receiving this at home, putting your own roof tiles around your lampshade and making your own lamps, sort of participating in the process. Creating different diameters permits to integrate the lamp, this piece, in different environments, in big rooms or in small rooms. One big issue of chandeliers is the dimensions. Chandeliers initially were made for palaces, for concert halls, for theaters. They were not having the constraints of being 2.70 m in ceiling height or 3.20 m if you're really lucky. So when you put a chandelier, if I want to put a chandelier in my home, I have to wear a helmet because I will always bang into it. So, and I think it's the environment, it's the conditions most of us has. This solution is more architecturally friendly. It also talks with the proportion, it talks with the environment around this, it talks with the relationship between its form and the architecture itself, contemporary architecture or minimalist architecture, what we live today in, recalls better these sort of forms, and it's a correlation which is more integrated and more harmonious, yet when you put it on, you feel the crystal, you see the reflection, you see the value that reflection in crystal and the breaking of the light brings in. That brings me to another subject. If we look at the tile itself, we have designed different designs. One is a chaotic crisscross of lines which are physically cut into the crystal that creates an effect of a prisma, and the prisma diffuses the light and capture also the environment, the colors and the general lighting environment. We have another model that you see further there, which is a more regular cutting that refers to the history of glass cutting and to baccarat, and that gives us, within the same contemporary, actual, present, future form, generic form, two approaches, a very contemporary one and something that recalls history but projects history into the future. Let's say the reaction of baccarat as a partner was very. The beginning was wow, because it's when you make a drawing or you make an illustration of an idea that immediately feels that you know it and it's still new. It's like meeting the love of your life. Somebody you just met but you feel you know him from 3,000 years. And that's a sensation which was very encouraging because we didn't really know what to do at the beginning. It was just like, well, look at this idea. It's a metaphor. It's a transposition of what we know and what we don't know in the same thing. So that was very positive. And then we started to test it, and all this cutting which I now made in a mold, we all did all the tests, and we did many of them, cut by hand, which is what baccarat knows how to do and does from 250 years. So the reaction was interesting, is how to move from hand cutting into machine cutting into mold, and how to bring to maximum efficiency the system, its know-how, its material, its way of doing things, and with my know-how, my system, my ability of merging these things together. Another positive thing was that to create something that we can still call a chandelier without losing what a chandelier is. So it's difficult today to create products that obtain or maintain the DNA, the real DNA of the brand or the company you work with. Because baccarat is not a marketing DNA, it's a reality DNA. It's the way we did it, it's the way we do it, it's the way we're going to keep on doing it. How to maintain this DNA and project it into the future without losing your looking backward and say, oh, that's my tail, and looking in front and say, oh, that's where I want to go. It's going to be a new fish in this aquarium of very old, young fish and very big and small fish, but it's going to be, it has its own identity. But what I particularly appreciate in it is that when you look at it, it's familiar without and still new. And that is, I think this is a rare quality in a product. In Milan, what we're going to see also is the architectural application of the tuile, of the roof tile. We can create endless walls in any dimension. We can have it round. It could be just covering a pillar. It could have light or not light. It could be next to a window and benefit from the natural light of the sunset or whatnot. So it's really an architectural brick, an architectural construction piece that you can build whatever one feel is the right thing. So I also think it's in design of today, obsessiveness of this is my design. It's a new way also to say, hey, interior architects, decorators, this is a raw material, refined raw material which you can work with and generate and create whatever you think is correct. If somebody wants to put a red line behind it, great. If somebody wants to put it horizontal, make a table with, great. I think this is a level of generosity and openness and open-minded approach into product design today, and into what we call the domestic environment, for not calling it decorative, because I think at the end it is a product design project. It has industrial manufacturing techniques, constraints, reality, and it has to hold both the financial reality, the brand reality, my signature reality, and the market needs, or the future market needs, because we are not here only to keep on putting the classic chandeliers because it's a la mode. We're here to propeller and to project what I do will take life in 5 years, and we started this project a couple of years ago, and it's a process where we have to first digest and appropriate, then we are able to project. And it was a long answer to your short question, but it's a very overwhelming process. The relationship I have with the factory is special for me. As you could see, I know the people, I know them by the name. We've seen each other now for 10 years or more. When I started with baccarat, what I said the only way for me to collaborate with is to sleep in the factory. They all looked at me and said, this guy lost his nuts. And I said, no, it's the only way. I want to understand, I want to know everybody physically. I have lunch with them, have breakfast, have dinner. I listen to the machine and I know what the machine is doing more or less. I have this great passion to technology, to technique, and to know-how, especially the know-how which is gathered with the person itself. It's the way the person, if you look at somebody who's doing cold engraving, he's dancing in front of the machine. He's dancing in front of the cutting wheel, and he has his own choreography, and each one will dance differently to have his own sort of way of doing so. I had to come several times. We had a lot of prototypes coming to us, a lot of discussion, a lot of Skype meetings, a lot of emails, but many hands-on tests like we do today. Because what they do, they can embrace the technique and the parts and the evolution of what are the technical requirements of a product be in a domestic environment with all the rules worldwide and so on. But I'm the only one who can embrace the feeling and the emotion. I come in and they give me the fact that it's hanging and it's secure. This is what they give to me as facility, and I can deal with, does it do, is it like a, or is it like a, is it like wow, and where is the wow? And by eliminating a third of the light bulb, I get the better light effect. And this is something that I can do. This is the understanding of light and the quality of light that I have, that I work since many years, and I know what to do and how to deal with it. So it's a workshop environment has advantages and disadvantages. One have to know how to bring them together and make sure you not miss anything, because home doesn't look like this, at least not mine. Well, I'd love to live here. It says point of security. So you want to stand, if you go to a dinner, you come to a home or to a restaurant and you look at the space and you have this almost fireflies out of crystal, and then you come and you sit underneath one of them and you discover something new and different than what you used to see with lighting and with chandelier. It's almost a functional, it's not a light sculpture, it's like a functional art, and that is good. It's important. You sit and say, wow, I've never seen something like this. You look at the parts. It's also like a fish. It's also like many things that we can see in nature. If you take a pine, the way a pine on a pine tree is made, it has actually almost like a roof tile structure, and this is basically where roof tiles are coming. If you can see the water running on a pine, it's actually running down like it would run on a roof tile. Today is the first time after we had a big batch of production of tiles. So we could see the first time the three sizes in the different finishes complete with the structure and so on, because what we saw so far is partial, because things were cut by hand, it's very expensive and long and does not reflect what the reality will be. So it enables me to test, and I now don't look at the dinosaur anymore or the elephant. I'm dealing with the eyelashes and with the little thing and how the skin texture is and the way it will talk and how it will smell. And so I'm taking off, it's really like it's like arranging a dish in dinner. You put the steak on, the steak is done, and then you add on some green beans, and you add two more. It doesn't change anything nutritionally, but it makes the dish look right. And then you put a little bit more of carrots or whatever puree. So that's what I do now. Changing some of the details so they disappear or make appear what I want, controlling the light quality, taking off little parts which were technically there, but to hold things but not refined technically, arranging the relationship between the object and the ceiling, because the ceiling is there, what we don't have here, studying all this, and talking about something which is extremely important for me is the maintenance. How you clean it, how you refresh it. You could practically take the tiles, put them in the dishwasher, and wash your chandelier. This is a revolution in housewifing technology, put it that way. Because at home I'm the one who's doing this stuff, so I'm so happy to have an easier life. And second thing is how the piece is delivered, how you mount it, because this piece maybe costs 15 or 16 or 18,000 euro, and it's a lot of money, and it has to be something which is you prevent any breaking risk, that it's easy to put together. Normally you come in, the apartments or the homes are already made. You can't just come in with machines and so on. It has to be clean, the people with gloves. So all this is very important. The person who acquire one of my pieces, I would like them to feel privileged and happy and treated all the way till they put the switch on and say, wow, that's what we imagined, that's what we want. And this sort of attention comes with the knowledge or with the experience that I have, with the artwork that I'm doing on the other side, because when you buy a piece of art, it gets to your home, it's like the jewel of the day, and it can't be just a big cardboard box that you don't know where to open, and when you open, all the parts are falling and you're getting upset and confused and so on. So it has to be an experience all the way, and these people come home, do their thing, they have it lit, it's fantastic, they go to dinner with friends, and what they say, today we got this amazing thing and it was great to put it together, it took only 15 minutes, it was so easy and the light is beautiful, and all these words is what I want people to say about the product. I like it or I don't like it, it's personal, that I can't influence.